There's a couple things you want to figure out right off the bat when you're a woman. How she wants to inspire a man, how she wants to nurture a man, what she needs to feel to surrender to a man. So that gets into the gates of control, respect, safety, anticipation. Those are receptive states where when we feel that, we give control to others. And control must be given first. It can't be taken first. True submission, true power through force doesn't actually exist. Perfect example of that would be like slaves. Like, okay, like if you read Frederick Douglass's autobiography, yeah, he's a slave physically, but mentally he was never a slave. And there's this universal force, this pressure through humans to escape power through force or control through force. So submission doesn't actually exist because the true control happens in the mind. You can control my body, but you don't control my mind. So the only way to control my mind is when I give that control to you. And that doesn't happen through force. That's where you demonstrate leadership, and then the person decides, okay. And we do this when we're voting for politicians as well. So you want to figure out how she wants to do these three things, and then you also want to figure out the time element in terms of like how much time she wants to give to a guy. So fundamentally, to wrap up, the way to get someone addicted to you is to become a context, probably the only context in which they feel that they can truly be themselves, which is who they want to be. So with you, they are who they want to be, and it's appreciated and encouraged and supported. And that's the foundation for my relation with everyone in my life. And by in my life, I don't mean like I'm just some random person that I maybe talk to for a couple minutes. I mean, if you're like my friend, if you're a student of mine, family members, etc., women I meet, that's what I want you to feel. I want you to feel that with me. When I made that shift from trying to impress people and try to be someone that other people liked, and instead focused on seeing who they wanted to be and liking them for that, that's when my whole life changed, when I started to have much better relationships. Connecting with women became way easier, more natural, more effortless. Things became because I had people wanting to help me and support me in my vision. So we're all leaders. We're all leaders, and there's no the idea of the alpha male is. That's archaic. That's not really how it works anymore, because again, we all have equal access to resources. Obviously there's class differentials, the poor and the rich, and different countries. You got a third world country versus a developed country. And so those are like big social issues that have to be fixed. But for the most part, people can eat and survive, and for the most part, if you work hard, you can support yourself. That changes a lot of things. And so this idea of who's alpha is not as relevant anymore. It's more about who knows that he is a leader, then knows what being actually means, and how that works, how that's executed with every new person you meet. And again, it's seeing who they want to be, letting them know you see that, drawing them out, and then or eliciting that, and then rewarding it with your time and attention. And touch as well. I mean, touch is just a part of time, or touch is just a part of attention that you give a woman. As a man, like I can meet another guy and kind of know like who he wants to be. He wants to be respected. He wants to be a guy who's powerful. He wants to feel respected for, his intelligence, his strength, and all these things. I'm a man, so I can instantly sort of recognize that, just like two people speaking the same language. With women, it's a little harder for men to understand who a woman would want to be. And so that's why you kind of need a map, because we're not taught this stuff. So we're not taught this stuff just, growing up in school or whatever. So that's kind of why I do what I do. So, that's where the, awareness of embrace and the 3 dimensions plus time, master, partner, lover. This is just maps to help you navigate someone that you never were taught to understand, and but you kind of need to in order to be successful without using deception. Okay. So that's basically how to get a woman addicted to you. In other words, how to make a woman really want to be around you and spend time with you, and be intimate with you, be sexually intimate, emotionally intimate with you. And these conceptual structures I'm giving you, what I'm trying to indicate is that everything's interconnected, and what we're actually really after is this sort of ineffable core perception of reality that I don't think anyone ever totally attains, but life, every system, every structure, every conceptual structure you use in any endeavor, whether it's cars or engineering or this, is what you're trying to do is create the most accurate model of reality possible. And the thing is, reality, true reality, and if you've ever meditated and had like an enlightened moment, like a moment of satori, where you see reality for real, like wow, it actually is, and it's this infinitesimal moment of like a living, interconnected, one moment that is infinite reality. If you've ever experienced that, you know that that can't actually be described in words. So every system is trying to explain reality using guideposts, using words, using models. There's this like this central idea, this central thing of reality that when you can tap into it, when you can see it, everything works. You're just, there's no resistance. The way to see that, though, is to see it from different angles. And the most basic 3D shape is a tetrahedron. And then another kind of easy way to understand this would be a Celtic knot with the three interlocking loops, where every loop is made up of the other two loops. So everything is interrelated and works together. So you can see how I'm trying to communicate this kind of interconnected, unified reality using conceptual models. Becoming a better man, becoming just a better is not so much about learning specific techniques or tactics, but rather seeing things that you didn't see before. And when you just see stuff you didn't see before, then you're interacting with that reality, which is, let me say it like this: you're interacting with that version or that perception of reality that's a little closer to the truth with a capital T than you were before. So it's very similar to like if you're trying to play basketball with a blindfold on, or you're trying to play basketball with like super thick glasses that make you really nearsighted or something. So you're going to have a hard time navigating that reality. But to finish that analogy, if you take those glasses off, and then you're still playing on the same court, same ball, same people around you, you're going to be way better. You could even barely know how to play basketball, barely be able to dribble or shoot the ball. But if everyone else is still wearing those glasses and you're not, you could be playing against, NBA All-Stars and have like just, high school JV skills and be the best player on the court, simply because you see a reality. You see a more accurate version of reality than everyone else does. So that's basically what I'm giving you in Sexual Supremacy is, the new perception of reality, the more accurate perception of reality, not based on this deception-based model of, courtship, ownership, seduction, and all that. But you're actually seeing how things really are, not all, like 100% to the perfectly, but much more accurate than everything else. And then I also give you tools to actually execute based on what you see. So kind of hitting the inner and outer game and going beyond inner and outer game and actually dealing with focus or focalities, which is what you're paying attention to moment to moment. So your real tool is not necessarily what you say or do, it's where your focus is at. It's the modality of focus moment to moment. So as long as you're paying attention to the right thing, you'll naturally do the right thing. You're already doing it. You're already wired to do this. If anything, I'm teaching you to get rid of the bad stuff that you've been conditioned to do. And that's really what true self-development is getting rid of bad conditioning that we started amassing when we were since day one, really.